An eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And today, we have another amazing guest, another amazing episode. Guys, I am more than just a fanboy here. The founder of Happiness Formula, high performance coach, author, speaker, amazing entrepreneur. Let's all welcome Holly Smith. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I am flattered. That was an amazing intro. I feel so loved and appreciated. So thank you. Firstly, is my internet okay? You can hear me. I know I might be having a few issues, so I do apologize. But yeah, I'm so excited to chat with you today and just give value. That's what I'm all about.
Yay. So everyone, we are live on TikTok. We are live on Twitch. We are also doing behind the scene test live on TikTok. So if the video is glitchy because of like what Holly said about the internet issues, it's okay. We are going to release a full edited version audio format on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. So that's going to be clear, solid, and you can enjoy the value that we will be sharing on today's episode. Going back to our amazing guest, which I love so much. See, fanboy here. Holly, I mean, for all the other fan boys and girls out there, we know your story. You know, we follow your journey, ups and downs. But for those who are, living inside a cave, I'm excited to know, and I know our listeners and viewers are excited to know who or what influenced you to be in this position you are right now. Connecting people, helping people, sharing values, and changing people's lives. Your story, my friend, the floor is yours.
So pretty much, yeah, look, I wrote my book 30 Days to Happiness a few years ago now, and it explains my journey to happiness, honestly, like the 30 habits that reconstructed my subconscious mind to wake up happy every single day. Now, back in, I don't even know, in my early teenage years, what happened was I was always a horse rider growing up. So I was in equestrian, I was always riding horses. I would also buy them, sell them. Like that was like my little entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur. My mum and dad, very entrepreneurial. So I would just loved horses. Like that was my life. I was competing every weekend. And then pretty much what happened was we had to move off acreage. My parents had never been together. So I'm from a separate family. And something happened with our family and we had to move off acreage. We had to sell all our horses, and then as well, like two of my horses passed away and died, which was really sad because they were like, if you know horses, they are such a spiritual creature. So I was so attached to them and they were like my outlet, right? So I didn't get counseling, and even though I had trouble growing up, I never actually got the counseling and the psychology that I actually needed through that time. So what else happened? Yes, we moved off acreage and both my horses died, and I felt like, honestly, my whole purpose was ripped away. I got super depressed, put on heaps of weight, always hated school, wasn't a fan of school, just never clicked with anybody because all I wanted to do was get out of school and make money. That's honestly all I wanted to do the whole time. So I slipped into quite a deep depression, and I was just really just sad for such a long time, to a point where I honestly just didn't want to live anymore. I'd just be praying one day, hoping that I'd get hit by a car, and I'd, kind of sound so deep, but didn't have to do it myself kind of thing. And then one day I had enough, and I was honestly like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so deep. I'm just so sad. I was just sad. I was purposeless. I just didn't like anything about my life. I was so unhappy. And I feel like I had no support as well. So that was a really big factor. So I remember praying, and I was like, God, take away the pain. Otherwise, I'm done tomorrow. Like, I'm gone. And I'm not even joking. Like, I went to sleep that night. I woke up the next day and I had no suicidal thoughts. I kind of had I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, okay, well, I've still got goosebumps thinking about it and talking about it. But I was like, okay, well, maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I went into the real estate industry after school and was working these crazy hours. I was getting paid like $11.50 an hour. It was just crazy. I was working 16 hours. I ended up getting a personal training job as well. So I was working all these crazy hours and I got so burnt out. I remember just driving one day in the car. I was like, I'm going to thank myself for this one day. I'm going to thank myself. And I was able to buy a new car from all the saving and, but I only have to get out. I couldn't afford to live. So I got so burnt out that my hips and my knees and my joints and my whole entire body, honestly, they gave way and I couldn't walk for 4 weeks. So I don't know if any of you guys believe that muscles and joints, they hold emotion, right? So if you've read Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, she talks a lot about how you can heal your body and heal your life by, healing your emotions. So I knew something was, there was emotionally wrong and unstable. So pretty much I learned the habits to still work good hours, quality hours, hustle a bit, but do it properly. So that's when I started my first online fitness business, BizFit, and I helped online because it was an online business because, during COVID, I actually started it and it worked out really well. And I was like, I can't keep, doing personal training and knocking on people's doors at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm just going to keep burning myself out. It's just help quality of life. So that's why I went online and I started LinkedIn and pretty much like help professionals, busy professionals, create the habits they needed and look after themselves just like I did, right? And now I'm helping other people. So along that, I started on LinkedIn with 0 followers. And didn't even know how to use LinkedIn. I was like, what is this corporate platform? So my friend who I was in a mastermind with at the time, he was like trying a LinkedIn method, and he's really, really good right now, like with coaching people with LinkedIn, and he's got really great methods. But LinkedIn's changed so much. And honestly, within 12 months, I built a 6-figure business from scratch. I had 0 connections to 65,000. And honestly, LinkedIn was a gold mine for me if you know how to use it. And honestly, that's still where I run my business. I launched my book a few years ago, 30 Days to Happiness. They were the habits that pulled me out of that depression. And then now I do high performance coaching for business owners, for people who just feel stuck and want to reach that next level. I absolutely obsessed with what I do. We have a really great community called the Happiness Formula. So it's literally the formula in my book, but in a program. So I love it. I can't complain.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Before I focus on the main topic, I was always wondering, what's the secret behind your energy, behind your passion? And while listening to your story, I have this question in mind. Holly, why didn't you give up, in the dark stage of your journey? You said that you're tired, mentally and physically, there's a lot of thoughts playing. Why didn't you just give up? But instead, you push forward and, you really strive and persevere.
I truly believe it was because I believe in God, but I believe God gave me a clear vision of what my life could be like if I continued living. And because of that purpose, right, I was able, he's the one who gave me the idea for the book. He's like, you got to write this book, but you're not ready to write it yet. I had all this revelation, right? And I just grew with my relationship with God. So, or if you believe in the universe, you can have a connection with a higher power. And that's actually the last chapter of my book is giving it all to a higher power. That is honestly, the only way you can truly be happy is if you stop holding on to everything and completely let go and trust a source that is stronger than you, is higher up than you, that knows more than you. And when you learn how to do that, or you understand who, that higher power is for you, it's honestly, that's what gives you purpose. That's what gives you purpose. And remember that, with on those days when I don't feel energized, or, I'm not perfect every single day, but I am highly energized and motivated. I am a high performer, right? It would be terrible if I was a high performance coach and wasn't one myself. But yeah, I'd say purpose, right? So I really suggest that every single person has their values and their purpose and their vision and mission up on their walls at all times. So they're always looking at like why they're here, why are they alive, why are they building this business? That always encourages you, just like a vision board, to not give up. But knowing that purpose is not a destination. It's not like, oh, once I launch this business and have this family and make $1 million, I'll be happy. And my purpose is, to just help people, right? And whatever. But you could have one purpose in different seasons, right? So generally, if you want to go deeper into purpose, there's like a few different types of purposes, and it's always linked around people, animals and welfare, like, the world, society. And there's one other one. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, I totally agree, Holly. I always say this when I speak, when I'm invited to podcasts, and when I coach. Intent comes before content, meaning your intention, the foundation of who you are and why you're doing the things that you do. The purpose, the core of why you are created in the first place. When you hone in on that is where the magic starts. That's where you can really blossom. And when you do, because I believe, the reason why God gave us all this power and talent and passion is for also to share and help out people so they can be what they were created to be also. So I love that.
Yeah.
Holly. Thank you for reminding us that.
Thank you.
You mentioned high performance and high performance habits. Now that's something that we really need to focus on. Me, myself, all the listeners and viewers out there. Guys, we're all excited how to create high performance habits to build a profitable business. The floor is yours, my friend. Feel free to share.
Oh, I love this topic. And it's funny because I literally just filmed a podcast about this. So yeah. First step is you really need to understand what the heck is a high performance habit. You got to take your average habits, like waking up in the morning and like getting some movement, maybe going for a walk, or having a revenue goal, to taking it to the next level, high performance. You think of athletes, you think of those people like those billion-dollar business owners, like those people who are showing up the way their business is running. I'd class that as high performance. So you're going to think about, okay, how can I 10x my habits pretty much? How can I go from waking up in the morning to waking up at the same time every day and having a productive morning routine? How can I go from just going for a walk every now and then to get some fresh air to actually implementing a routine that's going to help increase your dopamine and your endorphins and allow you to perform at your optimal health, right? So you're going to take the current habits and 10x them. How can you do them consistently? To create a high performance habit, there's discipline and accountability and consistency. They're the three key components if you were to make a recipe for high performance habits. And the only way you can do that is by staying and sticking to it for a period of time until it becomes normal to you. I just wrote a post on LinkedIn how, going to gym 5 days a week and being motivated, that's normal to me. Like that's second nature, right? Working and being super productive and following my calendar system, I've worked really hard to achieve that habit, but a lot of people haven't, right? So these high performance habits are easy to me, not all the time, but most of the time. So for those who are like, I want to become a high performer and actually stick to what I say I'm going to actually do and do it well, you've got to look at yourself as an athlete. So Bezos Cooley talks about it all the time, is that entrepreneurship is a sport. And I freaking love it when he says that, because I'm like, yeah, it's a sport. This is my life. This is my passion. And I love that because it's kind of true, right? You have your ups, you have your downs. You got to perform to build things in your life and compete. So and this is just the high performer in me coming out. So you got to think of yourself, if you were to perform at your optimal best, like your productive hour, if you want to perform the best in your business, if you want to make more money, if you want to feel just so good and motivated all the time and just like look confident and positive and happy. And if that's your goal, then you need to start treating your habits like it's part of the process to compete in a competition, because you are an athlete, right? If you are a business, you need to start acting like you are a business athlete, right? So how can I be more productive in my productive hour? Okay, well, probably could exercise before that. I could do a visualization to increase motivation and, raise my vibration. I could do breath work. I could just stretch for a bit and move my body. I could grab a cup of coffee and write down some, positive affirmations. I don't know, whatever works for you. But you've got to start thinking, all right, well, if I got to perform at my best, what is it going to take for me to perform at my best?
I love that. I love that. And we have some questions here. Before I read the questions, Holly, I have a question in mind, in connection to what you've shared. Do you need to really um, wake up early? Because there's a lot of videos out there.
Mhm.
I don't know if it works. It may work for other people, but they're always saying, don't spend much time in watching Netflix. Don't spend much time in reading books. You need to wake up early. You need to exercise. Is that something that entrepreneurs, creators in this generation need to follow?
It's a great question. I talk about this quite a bit. Is that you can follow like a high performer and their long ass morning routine. Like you could go, okay, I'm going to wake up on time and then I'm going to do breath work and meditation. Then I'm going to go do some exercise and do a cold plunge. And then I'm going to go do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then journal. And then it gets to 10 o'clock in the morning and you're like, I'm not wasted because it's all personal development, but you could have finished work at 10 a.m. honestly. So you've got to pick the right habits that work for you. Honestly, don't pick the habits that your next door neighbor's doing just because it's working for them. It may not work for you. If you hate running, why would you go for a run? That's like the perfect example, right? If you don't like cold plunges,
That I stay up
then
and sometimes
don't do it. Pick some.
late.
Am I back? Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool, awesome. I don't know what bit I was up to, but I was just saying that if you hate running, then why would you go for a run just because that next door neighbor is doing it and they look super fit and motivated? Like don't do if you don't want to do a cold plunge, don't do a cold plunge. Like you got to do what you want to do, but do it in a way that you are consistent. Do it only if it's serving you and it's making you perform at your best. So pick the right habits, implement to a schedule, and then stick to it for a period of time until it becomes a high performance habit and then second nature to you. The best example I like to give is brushing your teeth, right? It's second nature. You just do it. Those habits need to be like that.
Wow, love that. Love that. Straightforward. Thank you for that. Another question from AJ, from Instagram. My workplace is very toxic. Any tips? So
Yeah,
maybe
that's not good.
high performance habit that could help him in his
Oh,
toxic
yeah.
environment.
Oh, I mean, it depends like how invested you are in this environment. Pick your people carefully. Number one, pick who you believe, who you hang around, and who you talk to, right? Because that's obviously going to become who you are. Don't get involved in all the gossip and all the politics in the office. Like, just do yourself a favor and remove yourself from that environment. It's better to have little friends than be friends with everyone. But most importantly, decide who you want to let affect your energy. Okay, so who are the people that are actually not toxic and you'd happily hang around and talk to? Stick with those people. If you don't really have a choice and you literally have to work with people who are so toxic, then you just have to show up in the opposite way, because eventually they're either going to see that and they're going to remove themselves from your environment because they can't keep up with how cool and positive and happy you are because your vibration's up here and theirs is down here.
Right.
Or you need to also choose, like, is this environment where you want to be in the next 10 years? and then figure
Love
out
that.
what
Love that.
where is
Yeah.
where is that environment.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. Those are, basic questions. Thank you for dropping knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. Thank you for sharing values. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your journey. I know our listeners and video uh, viewers are very, very pumped up and ready to embrace their journey. But we're not done yet, my dear. We are not done yet. You shared your story. We focus on the topic. You gave us knowledge bomb. Now is the part where we will play a game. All right. We call
So
this the
fun.
Creative Talk Fast Talk. How this works is I'll be asking you questions or statements, and you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer would be. First word that comes into your mind, shoot. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm ready.
Don't worry, don't worry. There's no, it's all good, clean fun here.
Okay.
All right. If you guys, people on TikTok and people that will be watching this YouTube video, Holly here is starting to blush. So
Oh, getting nervous.
let's go. All right. Number one, very easy. Which do you prefer, sun or snow?
Sun.
Structured or chaotic?
Structured.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you guys have been following Holly, the video reels that she share, it's all about steps, and no wonder she picked chaotic. I was actually waiting for you to answer the opposite. So good thing she answered structure.
I need structure.
Holly, love or money?
Love.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Well, I'd be an eagle so I can fly over everything. So I always want to fly. But deep down inside, my spirit animal is a horse.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because of the story and everything. Love it, love it. Holly, are you a passenger or are you a driver?
I'm a driver.
Nice. The mountains or the beaches?
Beach.
What are you afraid of, Holly?
Rats. Freaking hate rats. Don't even bring them close to me. I will die.
What's the story behind that? What's the story behind that?
Okay, so okay. Growing up, like being around, like living on pretty much on a farm, we had like the horse shed, right? That's where the horse food, the chicken food, everything was kept. There were rats in there, and I just, so gross. And they've got like these little teeth, like rats have teeth. And I think I don't even know how it happened, but one day, I found one dead and its little teeth were sticking out. It freaked me out. But I think what actually like screwed me over was my mum. She showed me this photo when I was like probably 8 or 10 of this. Oh gosh, it was like a human rat slash bat. And she's like, look at this. Top 3 movies would be, I do love Dumb and Dumber. That's a really funny movie. I love a good comedy. I don't know. Honestly, I used to have like my favorites. I always loved them. Okay, TV series is The Office. I love The Office. Like, it is my sense of humor to a T. Like, absolutely love The Office.
Nice.
And honestly, I'm into series at the moment. So I really love the new series One Day. There's like a romance series.
You're watching? What's the latest series that you're watching?
What did I just finish watching? It was One Day. It's called One Day. It's on Netflix, and honestly, I just loved it. I always thought it was gonna be corny, but it was actually a pretty good series. So that's what I just finished watching, and it was pretty good. Loudermilk. We watched Loudermilk. That was cool. I really like that series too. So yeah, I'm just like always open to watching new series.
All right. This last question may be something serious depending on how you take it. All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why?
Ooh, probably Jesus.
That's you are the only one, the first one that answered that. Guys, please do connect with Holly. I'm sure she will help you in your journey toward success. Again, Holly, my friend, I said this off cam and I'll say it again. It is a blessing to have you in the show. I love what you've shared. I love your message. Thank you for spending time to be with us here on the show. Always remember, have a positive outlook in life, smile, and God bless. Bye.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.